Our next guest will weigh in on the latest with U.S. tariffs, the budget bill, and more. Joining us now, House Ways and Means Chairman Jason Smith. Mr. Chairman, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us, as always.
Always good to be with you, Joe.
We also said we'd talk about the latest from NVIDIA in the White House and the recent meeting, I guess, with Jensen Huang. I want to start, though, Mr. Chairman. We just had Mike Wilson on, pretty well thought of strategist from Morgan Stanley. Each sort of worrisome economic policy headwind that we've been told about that we went over with him, he either arrived at it being either neutral or an actual positive. In that President Trump, when the rubber meets the road, it seems like he'll come down on American businesses' side. With NVIDIA, there are concerns about China, security concerns, everything else. But when push comes to shove, he wants those chips to be able to be sold around the world and do well. Is it the same with tariffs, do you think? When it's all said and done, will you see something in the middle that's not as big a negative as the critics would have you believe?
Yeah, I would have to agree with a lot of the things that Michael said just before I came on. But the trade aspect within this administration's economic pillars is just one of the three parts of the leg. The other was the certainty within the tax code. We did that, making certainty with international law tax, with expensing, with rates. Deregulation is another component. But when you look at the trade items, if the administration had not been as aggressive as what they have been, you wouldn't have seen 70+ different countries come to the table. We're at the very early stages of some very good agreements that will be coming out that will benefit American manufacturers and also American farmers.
Do you expect to hear something from Jamieson Greer and the Commerce Secretary
Joe,
about this? Look, are you frustrated that we haven't heard anything yet, or is this it's? Who used to say that? George Bush. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, are these trade negotiations? It's hard. Is that what it is?
Joe, I'm not frustrated at all. I talked to Jamieson Greer. I woke up with a text message from Howard Lutnick this morning. I'm completely engaged. I know how the negotiations are going. I talk to the president quite often, and he talks more trade than he does tax. This is a huge focus. We have several opportunities right before us that are just moments away.
Do you think that onshoring, which is one of the goals of the tariffs, is that just going to happen on the margin, or will it be a sea change? Because I could see us with the Mike, you just heard, you said you were watching Mike Wilson, kind of like a 10% that tax, doesn't completely shake up the whole world order in trade flows and everything else, but we just end up raising, a couple of $100 billion a year. Do you really think some of the other goals are achievable? For example, bringing everything back and having it made in America.
Joe, it depends on the product. Everything will not come back to America. But what the administration has been very focused on is making sure that our nation is secured when it comes to energy, to critical minerals, to food, to healthcare and pharmaceuticals. These are things that it's very, very important that we can produce those products and not be reliant on countries that are not necessarily our friends. If we cannot produce those, we need to make sure that we are promoting and benefiting our allies and friends to produce those goods. We can't produce everything, but we can produce a lot.
So we end up, at this point, decelerating from the day Liberty, what do we call Liberty Day back in April? It's been kind of a deceleration. Since then, you don't expect a re-acceleration on these issues, on tariffs, on the market's reaction to tariffs, et cetera. We're in a cooling off phase where we arrive at a lot of deals, and we'll put is that what the market's seeing, Mr. Chairman?
Well, Joe, I was seeing a lot of overreacting after Liberation Day, and I couldn't understand it by looking at it. And what we've seen now, we have the highest stock market that we've seen in a while. We've also seen the lowest inflation. They said these tariffs would create inflation. A lot of people's not talking about the month of June. The month of June, Joe, we had a $26 billion surplus. That is the first time in a month that we have had a surplus in revenues towards expenses of federal government since June of 2016. That's 9 years ago. And one of the main issues of that was the income coming in from tariffs.